So we wanted to talk City, and we wanted to get the thoughts of somebody who was very, very Man City. And we found someone who's even more Man City than Nicky Summerby. I didn't think it was actually possible.
Well, we're lucky enough to have him every other week on the Sports Bar. He's in the middle of a world tour, although I have no idea where he is in the world at the moment. But we can ask him, say, good afternoon to the singing sensation. There's Noel Gallagher.
Singing sensation?
Yeah, I thought you'd like that one.
Yeah, I do play guitar as well, though.
Not as well as you sing.
No, that's true. That's true.
Where in the world are you, Noel?
I'm in the south of France.
Oh, on holiday, or is this part of the tour?
No, it's part of the tour.
It's part of the tour, okay.
It's part of the tour. I'm in a place called Perpignan.
Oh,
nice.
South of France. Beautiful place.
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing weather today.
It is,
beautiful.
It's like that most of the year, actually. My brother-in-law's got a pad down there, and it's very nice.
Really?
Yeah. I'll give you the keys to it next time. Yeah, it's lovely. You'll enjoy
Thank you very much. I should go and leave my scent.
Mark your territory.
on the doorpost.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got you on, obviously, to talk City because I'm sure you're aware of it, even before it was announced in the press, that Mancini signed a new deal, £37 million.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're delighted, as most City fans are, that he's definitely staying, even though he was linked to the Russian job, as it were. I'm sure that was just a way of getting him to sign quicker.
Yeah, I don't really think anybody seriously believed he was going to go and manage the Russian team. Do you know what I mean? That was just a nonsense. I guess it's probably his agent. But, yeah, I think it might be the first time in my lifetime that a manager has got a new deal at City.
I thought you were going to say it's the first time in your lifetime a manager's earning what you do a week, a year.
Yeah, well, that's that. But yeah, I mean that's got to change. That's got to change. But yeah, I mean it's great. It's great news for everybody at the club. I think he's in a, he was in a position of ultimate power after the last game of the season. So good luck to him.
Paul to my left has got a problem.
Well,
but just with regards, is he worth that money? I think
Not so much a problem. I mean, I'm interested to know whether you were always sold on him from day one. Did you always think he was the right man? Have you ever doubted him along the way?
I thought his tactics were, like all of us did, but with the squad that he had, midway through his reign, he was a bit negative. There was some substitutions he used to make where he'd take off attacking players and put on holding midfielders. But I've got to say, I've always believed in him. I've always backed every City manager, but is he worth that money? He's worth it to City.
Mm.
I mean, it's like, Andy Carroll worth 35 million quid. They're worth whatever you're willing to pay for them. Do you know what I mean? And I think the Man City is worth that because he's delivered everything they've asked of him in double quick time. So I don't know. For instance, say if he was to leave, it would be and it would cost round about the same amount of money. There's only Mourinho that's above him. I would have thought at this moment.
Don't you sometimes think when you're watching the team and you look at the players you've got on the pitch and the players that he's able to buy, don't you ever think, I think I could have a crack at this, even if I was sitting down on that bench with what he has to work with? No one really says no to City, as we're probably about to find out with Robin van Persie. Well, not many people. So he's in an enviable position, isn't he? He can buy who he likes. He's made a few mistakes that might do for other managers like Dzeko, but yet there he is getting the biggest deal in Premier League history for a manager.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's go back to the last game at QPR. 2 minutes left. You see the look on his face?
Yeah.
The sheer exasperation and stress and knowing that his job was on the line and his reputation was on the line. And that's what you get. You're playing, it's high-stakes poker, do you know what I mean? And these guys are at the top. And, he was brought in to do a job at City, and in his first season was to get into the Champions League. He's done everything they've asked of him, under extreme pressure, in the spotlight of the media, with most of, pundits kind of willing City to fail in a way. And I think he's done an incredible job, to be honest. Plus all the egos that are in that dressing room. If you were to believe half the stories that were written, about training ground bust-ups and that, and how he's managed the dressing room to galvanise that team going in, with 8 points adrift with 6 games left. I mean, it takes some doing. I don't know whether, you could say, well, I could manage that team. I don't know whether you could. Not you personally. I don't know whether one could.
Well, no, I definitely couldn't.
No, let me ask you. Paul just mentioned RVP there. It looks like he's going to go. Tevez is back at training. Obviously, you've got Balotelli. Aguero's going to stay. Dzeko is the only player I can see leaving. He's 29. He had a great season last year, but obviously prone to a bit of injury. Do you think that's the type of player that City need, or they're buying him because he had such a prolific year last year?
Well, I've got to say, if it was me, I wouldn't go for him, to be honest, because I just don't think... At his age, he doesn't really fit the bill for City. Also, his players are now 24, 25, 26. I don't really think... He had a freak season. What's he played 120 games in 7 years or something?
Yeah.
I don't really think we need him. And I think if we get rid of Dzeko to buy him, it takes away an option that City have had. If we didn't, when that corner was swung in against QPR with 2 minutes to go, if we didn't have a 6'1" centre forward in the box, we don't get that goal and we don't win the league. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't tinker with it too much. I'd prefer to get a decent left back, to be honest, and cover for Lescott or company, because I don't think Savic is really ready yet. I don't really think we need much across the halfway line, to be honest. If you get Tevez back fit and ready, it's the first time he's done pre-season since he's been at City. If you get him back and raring to go, and we get a good start, no one's going to be able to touch us anyway.
I suppose, there's been some talk about Manchester United and Van Persie, and if you take him, Chelsea did a lot of this when they first got the money. You take players out of the market, it means, that's a player they can't have.
Well, there is that, I suppose, but I don't think United will buy him because they haven't got the money for the wages. I don't think Chelsea will buy him because I don't think he'll go to another club in London. I can see him going abroad, to be honest.
To Juve?
Well, I was in Milan at the weekend, and some of my friends are Juventus fans, and they seem to think that it's almost a done deal out there. But I don't know.
Are you worried about other teams next season or this season in the Premier League when you see who's buying what and who's not buying what?
No, not really. We're the champions.
I just talking to you for the first time, it makes me realise how far the club have come. I saw you at Main Road in 1996, and you went on stage. First thing you said was, "Ain't never going down. We're never going down." I think you'd had a good day.
Down.
Following weekend, you went down.
We went down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've been, for that. I was around when we got relegated in the first instance against Luton Town Home. I was at that match, and we never really recovered from that. And we were in the second division when the Premier League was formed, so we missed out on like a decade of money, and we were always playing catch up. And that title was for all the fans who were in their mid-40s who were at York away on a Friday night to see us draw 1-1 and go 11th in the third division. And it's a staggering journey that we've had.
Is there a different feeling amongst fans now? Because whenever you and I have spoken, before obviously City won the Premier League, whenever we've spoken on the show, you've always said, even after like the FA Cup semi-final, we were having a chat. You said, yeah, but we've still got to get there. We probably won't win the final. And when we were talking about but City usually, we get there and then we muck it up. But now you haven't done that. You won the FA Cup that year. You've now won the Premier League. Has the mood and the feeling changed amongst City fans?
I think so. I think now the curse has been lifted. I think everybody is like the pressure's off. You know what I mean? We had to win the league either last season or this season. I think the pressure's off. But it's a funny thing with the younger generation of City fans. You go to the ground sometimes, and if City aren't 3-0 up within the first 20 minutes, it's all the 18-year-olds and the 20-year-olds who start booing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And, of course, because they've not had the journey that the older generation have had. So the expectations from the new generation of City fans now are going to be insane. But I still think there's a sense of realism within the majority of City fans that, that it's going to be tough. We're not, the league is not nailed on. But we look at, you look at the squad and Company, Lescott, Joe Hart, Yaya, David Silva, Tevez, Aguero, just to name those six. Nobody can live with that, really. Yeah. If we play to our potential, it's over.
Finally, I do think the older generation, like you, of City fan, still expect to wake up. We've said it before. Still expect to wake up one morning, turn on Sky News, and it will say, "Middle Eastern oil wells dry up," because that is the attitude of the City fan. Is that somewhere around the corner it's going to go wrong?
Yeah, but I think it was up until Aguero scored the goal, and I think now you realise that we have actually got the best players that money can buy, and we've got the best manager that money can buy. And I just don't think people... I think we'll go into this season thinking differently now. I think that although the expectations are us to do well in the Champions League and to win the league again, I think there'll be a calmness among City fans to think, well, we've actually done it. We've actually done it. And I think, and more importantly, it's not really about the fans anyway. It's about the players. And I was with Vincent Kompany the other day, and I tell you, I mean, he's the captain of City, and he'll look you straight in the eye and just say, we've got the best team. That's it. And that's all that matters. 3 o'clock on a Saturday, you line up against the other team, we win. Because if our players play to the potential, we win. That's it.